Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Terrence Ray back at you with a stock market update. We'll do another weekly this week. I hadn't been doing them the past couple weeks. Been busy, out of town, was enjoying life. So I just I come in when I got something I want to do or got some good trades that I want to talk about. And this week we got some good stuff. So without further ado, I'm sitting here trying to blank everything off the screen so we can start with a blank canvas. Now let's go. This week, the weekly expected move for the SPX is $67.14, right? Just so if you don't know, I get that from I do like whatever. Let's say if it's a 4-day week and it ends on Thursday, I would find the weekly expiration that ends on Thursday. But this week is a regular week, ends on Friday, July 25th. And so I would use this one right here where it says July 25th. I'm getting the expected move, which is this ruler right here. And I'm using the Tasty Trade platform. They have a certain way that they figure theirs out. So it's just slightly different from a different platform. Maybe let's say a Thinkorswim or something like that. Maybe off just a tad bit. It's generally a little lower, but I found that it's way more accurate. So $67.14. Then I plot that when I bring these drawings onto the screen, you can see I plotted here, right? We are drifting and we at our all-time highs and just drifting higher. That is a small expected move for a week. So what I expect is that we'll continue to, drift higher, possibly unless we get some type of news, which is possible, a tweet, anything to make this market come down, right? And if we're watching this, we can see that the arc on it, just if we were drawing like trend lines, we would draw something like let's look like maybe something like this, right? Draw a trend line up to here, and you can see that then it started going this way. So I probably would do something like this. Take this trend line and go maybe here. You could do something like that, and then say like, hey, if the market was to break this trend line and then retrace, and then maybe we could get a down move, right? Almost like a channel. You could probably draw something up here, like so. I don't know, maybe like this. And then you're looking for some type of maybe something to the downside, right? To get bearish. You can draw the trend line like that. Or a lot of times I just like to do something like just use that's what the moving average is for. Basically, this 9 right here and this 20. So I kind of like look at the expected move to see what the market is expecting. Doesn't mean we're gonna always get that. Could get more, um, could get less, but at least lets me know that there isn't a whole bunch of movement being priced in the option market this week for the S&P 500. Now let's find some individual stocks. Now last week I did a video. Last week, maybe it been about 8 or 9 days ago when I did a video, and one of the stocks that was in that video was RILY, B Riley Financial. I have no idea what it is. If you missed last week's video, you missed out. I actually was right here. I called it right here at around what 380 something, I think, when I did the video. Um, and you could see maybe in 370 something. This past week it reached all the way up to what's that high? 636. So if you missed that video, you probably missed out on about 250, maybe $300. So just from last week. Now I would say, just looking at this, I don't think I would jump in right now. I would like to see it pull back some, get a pullback, and then maybe you can get back in. I'm just recapping the last video that I did. I talked about RGTI. Look at it. Crazy. I think back here when I did the video, I don't know, I had to be somewhere right around in here somewhere, right? It was about 10 days ago or so. Look at where it's at now. Now with RGTI, I do have another level higher that it can push through. It did gap significantly right here. I do think that maybe we'll get a push, maybe up to right around 18 bucks. I still would not jump in this right now. Who knows? Once it fills this gap right here, then who knows? It may go to all-time highs. But I wouldn't chase this right now. But this was also a winner. Let's go take a look at what was the other one, because I got other stocks added for this week that I'm gonna go over. It was RGTI, it was RILY, I think it was it was this one, VKTX was on last week's video. And you can see where it already hit its level at the 1618. Now, with this one, I do think this one, the best is yet to come, possibly on this one. Um, we don't have divergence on the MACD. It's not even overbought on the RSI. Now, VKTX does have some earnings this week on the 23rd after the bell. The thing with earnings, you don't know how people, even with earnings, you could have, like, I'm gonna give you an example. And then before I make this statement, Netflix had good earnings last week. They beat, and look what it did. It still went down. I just think that the market was all, I think that the earnings, now this is just my opinion, were already priced into this stock. So you had the price movement that represented those earnings already. So you could know what the earnings are and still not know what the stock gonna do. I'm just being, if you traded enough, then you know what I'm saying is true. You can have they could have good earnings and then afterwards do a call and then say something and then it could go down, whatever. With that being said, I'm gonna go back. Let's go back to VKTX, Viking Therapeutics. It does have earnings. Those earnings, though, could push it to get to its levels faster. Now, I am possibly considering getting back in on this. We'll talk more about that at the end of the video. Now, this week, let's go over what I'm watching this week. I got some more bangers. Then I got, stay tuned to the end of the video. I am starting up a subscription just for people that want to see, like, even though I'm going over these, right? I can't trade all of these. Like, I'm watching them. So I put this out here just to show, some setups. I will trade, maybe one or two of them. Sometimes I do trade them all and trade them small. It just depends. And I may trade them in another account that I have. I may buy and hold some stock or something like that. So what I'm going to try to do, what I am going to do to people who sign up to subscribe, it is going to be $24.99 a month. I'm going to do at least one trade. I will show at least one trade every month, right? Meaning that when this market opens tomorrow, I already got a trade lined up, one or two that I may take next week. And then I'll post those. I may just post the trade on the community. Like, you'll see like a post and you'll see the trade. If it's an option trade, I'll post like if I do a put spread, I'll post the exact put spread that I put. I may screenshot it from my phone and upload it. And then when I come home from work or whatnot, I may recap why I got into that trade and do some stuff like that. But it'll only be for members. I'll do something like maybe a live video, or I'll just do another recording just to show why I got into that video. So that stuff will be strictly for members. Now, you follow those trades at your own risk, right? You guys know I'm not a professional or anything like that. But if you follow the channel, you see that I'm dropping setups like this whenever I come on. People that's been sticking with me rocking. You see I'm dropping setups. These three stocks, all three of these were winners. Uh, these next two or three, let's see. I'm gonna go over one. This one right here, TDOC. You don't need a big account to trade this. Right now, it is last price when it closed on Friday was $8.06. Has a 63.5 IV rank. Um, I actually think that it'll get up to around the $10 range, right? Excuse me. There are different ways that I can trade this. I have not decided. It has earnings on July 29th as well, and I have not decided how I'm going to trade it. Even with that 63.5 IV rank, there's not a lot of juice in these options. So this is one of those ones where you almost the market is forcing you to either have to buy shares and then trade it outright, like with a stop and a take profit level. But I do. Let's go to intraday and I'll show you why. So basically, right here, I got my bull flag. Let me see. I'm gonna hide all the indicators to make this, and then I have my drawing. You can see right here. Look at this candlestick right here. Put this in the middle of the screen and try to make it big where you guys can see it. This hammer, right? Almost like some people call it Thor's hammer. And this is an hourly chart that I'm looking at. Like it beat the market up. So then you got this big green candle pull back. Your 1, 2, 3, then boom, boom, take out another high. So this would have been my 1, my 2, and then you get your 3, and then basically, excuse me, what you get. Let's bring this in now from here to here. This is your 4. Oh, this is your 4th wave. Using Elliott wave analysis. Now, what I think will happen is that at some point we get a push higher to take this out and then push all the way up here to around $10. So if I was to get in, my stop would be down here below 668, maybe even below 621. You could maybe put a stop at $6. So you risking 200 to make 200 and put your take profit up here right around 10. So that's risking 1 to 1. You buying the shares of Teladoc. Now, the way I set that up, this is the type of videos that I'm going to do for members you'll get one like this every month. And this is just a freebie that I'm giving right now. I got another stock that I'm going to go over, probably for the members only. I'll go over it. Obviously, the market isn't open, so I can't get in the trade. The only thing with that next one is that hopefully that the market gives us time to get in Monday morning, because I do think it's going to be a runner. And I'll talk about that. Like I said, the members will get that particular stock. Now I got another freebie I'm going to give away. So this is one setup I'm watching. I got another one for you guys. JD. I like JD. So JD is a Chinese stock. Now look at this. Now we're just looking at like market structure. You had this erratic move. Then you had all of this chop. Then you had it come down here. So all I did was, I got a trend line here. I got a triangle, or kind of like a descending triangle down here. And you see it kind of broke out and then came and then retested down here and then went higher, right? Here we go. It's already holding above this 1618. Now I imagine when you get up here and get to where this trend line is, you may get some resistance, but ultimately I like to see JD go higher. I think it'll make it up to around $37, right? This is one that I'm looking at trading. I just haven't figured out how I'm going to trade it. With it has an IV rank of 26. I generally like to be, if I'm going to sell options, I want to be 30 and above. And the thing about JD that is great, it is outside of this August monthly. So it has its earnings on August 21st. So you can do any of these options and not be subject to it. Now you can sell a put at the 33. strike. What is that? 38 delta. Take in a $1.11. You got a 68% pop. That's a possibility. Or just buying shares outright or buying a call. I don't like buying a call, but we'll see. So those are two stocks that I'll be watching next week. I'm watching TDOC. I'm watching JD. And let's see. If I do, I want to give you guys right now, we're just going to stick with JD and TDOC. I have another stock that I am looking that I got set up for. I'm going to hold that for the members, and it'll be, I'll go over that when I'm going to do another video and then just make that members only so you guys can see that other stock. So anybody that subscribes, that's how you get access to it. So hey guys, hopefully you got something out of this. Like I said, watch last week's video. Those stocks are still possibly in play. Just understand that those stocks from last week, they have already broken out, right? With the exception of VKTX, I really think this one can move higher long term. We have a gap right here. I'm show you guys this gap to the left. So we could see it get there to try to fill that gap. So I'll be watching this one in particular. This wouldn't be a bad idea, in my opinion, for a long-term hold, right? This is something that I would consider doing and holding. Um, I have another one that I didn't even go over. I'm gonna hold. I got a couple that I didn't go over on the video. I'm gonna hold that for the members only video. With that being said, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you're watching. And also, if you want to become a member, go ahead and sign up, become a member, and then peep the video I'm about to do for the members only. That being said, guys, I'm out. Peace.